out-of-body experience.
Welcome to the Brothers of Wrestling podcast.
Welcome back to the Brothers of Wrestling podcast with your host, Logan, and it's just me again this time. Unfortunately, Hayde ran out of time. Thankfully, it's not computer problems this time. We're totally good with that right now, but it is, Hayde could not get to do the recording today because he did run out of time and did not have enough time to do the full episode. We do have a segment. He did have enough time to preview Backlash, so his audio will be a part of that. He will be a part of that. So we did discuss Backlash. So you'll hear that at the end of the show, our preview of Backlash. But for now, it'll be just me talking about the events of Raw, the events of SmackDown, NXT, and maybe a little AEW as well. So let's get into it. We got to start with, obviously, the big news. Roman Reigns, Jacob Fatu. Who's going to win the match? Where does it go? What happens? Let's talk about it. So, on Monday Night Raw, we had a contract signing between Roman and Jacob. And basically, Roman just goes back into his tribal chief era, where on the microphone, Roman Reigns is undefeated as the tribal chief. And basically, he just talks about how he wants to be respected. He's doing this for respect. That's always what the tribal chief has been about. The tribal chief has been about respect, and it's about feeding the family of the bloodline for generations. He told Jacob that Jacob's doing this for his family, but Roman's doing it for all of the families. He's doing it for the generations of the Samoan dynasty. And so we come to blows, Roman and Jacob. Jacob gets another Tongan death grip in there. And they're really pushing this Tongan death grip a lot. Roman breaks out of it a couple times. Jacob locks it in a couple more times. Roman tries to hit a Superman punch. Jacob reverses the Superman punch into the Tongan death grip, and then he tosses him into the table that they had the contract signing on, and the table doesn't break. Roman just bounces off the table, and it like falls over, and he falls over. It was kind of a nasty little bump there, but the table doesn't break, and Roman just kind of falls off. But then Roman's down. Jacob signs the contract. And Roman had already signed the contract earlier before they started fighting. So we got this match of Backlash, Roman versus Jacob for the world title. It's about respect. On SmackDown, Jacob told the Usos that he might have to burn the whole family tree down if it comes to that. He's not afraid to take this all the way if he has to. If it means him getting the world championship and getting everything that he needs to feed his family and to put his family in a good spot, he is going to do it. And if that means tearing down his own blood, tearing down his own family tree, then he's going to do it. He's not afraid to cross those lines, basically, is what he told the Usos on SmackDown. So this whole main event scenario is getting kind of insane, and I do think that Roman is going to win the match. I believe Roman is going to, he's going to win, but I don't know if there is going to be shenanigans. Is there going to be a masked Samoan figure like we've seen in the past? I doubt it, because this version of Roman has proven already that he can win on his own. So I don't think that, if anything, I think the Usos could come out. Maybe the Usos come out, maybe they try to get involved and somehow that costs Jacob the match, or I don't think Roman loses. I don't know if there's any way that Jacob could win this. I think it would just be weird to give the title to Jacob after you just had this monumental moment where Roman regains control. So I don't know if you would just take the very next month. I don't know if you'd take that off of Roman already. So I do think that he's going to beat Jacob. It's just a matter of how he beats him. Does he beat him clean? Does he beat him? Excuse me. Does he beat him with shenanigans? Are the Usos involved? Does Jacob acknowledge Roman afterwards? There's a whole lot of questions that are going to be coming out of Backlash once we see what happens. But another thing that happened on Monday Night Raw was the debut of Sol Ruca, the official debut. She came out, she signed her contract, but then she was interrupted by the man, Becky Lynch. And Becky Lynch came out and she told Adam Pearce that she didn't like that Sol Ruca was taking up her time, because this allotted time was scheduled for Becky's championship celebration. And so we get to talking. Sol and Becky go after each other. And then at one point towards the end, Becky goes to punch Sol Ruka. Sol dodges it, and Becky Lynch punches Adam Pearce square in the jaw. And it was a legit good punch. Becky got him good. And so then Becky's starting to panic. She's starting to apologize to Adam Pearce, and it's pretty good. But then Sol eventually tries to go for the Soul Snatcher. She does slip on the middle rope, trying to hit the Soul Snatcher. But then she goes and she hits it. She recovers and she hits it. But she does slip a little bit at the beginning of the first attempt. And then we go from there. So does Sol Ruka have a shot at the Intercontinental title already? I mean, crazier things have happened. I definitely wouldn't hate Sol Ruka being the Intercontinental Champion already. It might be a little bit too early. Maybe she's still a little bit raw. Her promo is still a little bit shaky, but I mean, that's not her fault. She's just trying to learn and everything. So she just needs a little bit more time. But I wouldn't hate the fact that they give the title to her. If that's the way that they go, I don't even know. There's not even been a match yet, obviously. So I don't even know if that's the direction they're going to go. And maybe they're just trying to give Sol the feeling of being an impactful player already on the roster when she's on her first day by getting in the ring with Becky and she hit a Soul Snatcher on and everything like that. So maybe they're just trying to give the presence of Sol Ruka being a main event player without her having done anything yet on the main roster. So I did like that segment, though. I thought it was pretty good. But then we get maybe the most intriguing moment of Monday Night Raw from this past week. We have Roxanne Perez and Liv Morgan talking backstage. Liv's asking Roxanne if she's fully all in, because we obviously know the history. Finn Balor brought Roxanne into the Judgment Day while Liv Morgan was injured. And now that Finn Balor's out of the Judgment Day, is Roxanne going to follow suit? Is she going to choose Finn Balor's side, or is she going to choose the Judgment Day side? Well, we somewhat got our answer, at least for now, later in the night when we have a match between JD McDonough and Finn Balor, and then during the match, Liv Morgan, Dominic Mysterio, Raquel Rodriguez, and Roxanne all come out, and we see Roxanne grab the hammer that they ring the ring bell with, and she ends up hitting Finn Balor with, after obviously some other shenanigans happen, distractions by Liv, Dom, all that kind of stuff. Roxanne hits Finn Balor in the neck with the hammer. He then gets pinned by JD McDonough, which is a huge win for JD, by the way. Like I know we kind of like gloss over the fact that JD beat Finn because of the whole Roxanne situation, but JD pinning Finn, not clean, but pinning him is kind of a big deal, especially for JD as a singles wrestler. So Roxanne hits Finn with the hammer. Finn ends up losing the match. Has Roxanne proven her loyalty? At least for now, she has. I think that this is all a ploy. I think that Roxanne is trying to get Liv and Raquel and Dom off of her back and trying to throw them off the scent by, she attacked Finn. She's on our side, clearly. She helped us win. She helped JD win, so she's clearly not on the side of Finn. I mean, would somebody that's wants to join Finn's side hit him with a hammer? No. So I think what Roxanne's doing is mind games with the Judgment Day. I think she's thinking multiple steps ahead. So she's trying to get them off of her back and get them off the scent that she's not turning on him, so that when she does eventually turn and join Finn Balor, whenever that happens, whether it's a couple of Raws from now or at a pay-per-view, whenever it does end up happening, I would assume it would happen in a Liv Morgan match because she's the World Heavyweight Champion. Maybe it happens in a rematch between Dom and Finn. Maybe Dom challenges Finn for the AAA Mega Championship. Or maybe it's just a random match. I don't know. I don't know what the scenario would be match-wise to get Roxanne to turn face. But whatever it is, I think that all of this is being done. All of the questioning by Liv is being done to throw us off the scent because Roxanne is agreeing with Liv. She's saying that she's on her side just so that we can get to the point where it eventually happens and it pull the wool over our eyes, pull the rug out from under us, and Roxanne turns on Liv, turns on the Judgment Day, and joins. I don't know. She doesn't have to like be with Finn afterwards. She can go off on her own and do her own thing after she gets out of the Judgment Day. But I think that this is all coming to a possible Roxanne turn, a very likely Roxanne Perez face turn to get out of the Judgment Day, join Finn Balor, and maybe we get to a Liv and Dominic Mysterio mixed tag versus Roxanne and Finn. Maybe that's where we go. Maybe that's at Saturday Night's Main Event, or at Clash in Italy, or at whatever the next pay-per-view is after that. So that could be something that we get to. But I do think that it's coming. I don't know if it's coming very soon, but it's definitely coming within the next month or two, I would have to say. They're not going to drag this out. I know Triple H likes to drag out storylines, but I think that we're going to get some sort of Roxanne Perez face turn within the next month, maybe within the next couple weeks, because I do think that it would be a very nice match for Saturday Night's Main Event if you do a Liv Morgan, Dominic Mysterio versus Roxanne Perez, Finn Balor mixed tag match. That feels like a very easy Saturday Night's Main Event match. And then after that, Roxanne can go off and do her own thing. Finn can go off and do his own thing. And then Dom and Liv can do whatever they need to do with, I'm assuming Raquel would still be a part of NJD. So it'd just be Roxanne kicked out. So that's kind of where I think the Roxanne Perez Judgment Day situation is going to go. I do want to talk about, there was other things that happened on Monday Night Raw, like the Oba challenge, where we think it's going to be Tozawa who answered the open challenge. And then he ends up squaring up and face-to-face, well, not face-to-face, more of face-to-gut with Obafemi. And then he backs out. He chooses Otis. Otis takes his place. And then the match was pretty cool because it's just a big, meaty match. Big, meaty men slapping meat. And then Obafemi realizes that he's not going to be able to pick up Otis normally like he would a normal guy. So he puts Otis on the second rope, on the middle rope, and then he turns it into the fall from grace from there. He picks him up and he carries him across the ring. He also does his little like pizza toss thing where he has him up on his shoulders and he just like chucks him across the ring. Maybe like not really like what's that called? What's the high school sport where you shuttle toss or shot put? Shot put is what I'm thinking of. Shot put. It's not really like a shot put thing, but he just tosses him like he's tossing a pizza crust in the air. He just like chucks the guy in the air across the ring. He did that to Otis. That was pretty impressive. And then he does what I said, where he puts him on the middle rope, gets him up for the fall from grace, and then and slams him down and wins. And I really do like this Oba challenge thing. I think it's a good way to get Oba some experience without putting him in like a major rivalry right out the gates. He gets some good experience. He gets some good matches with some random people, whoever wants to answer the challenge. And obviously it keeps him strong because he's going to win all these matches. So it's a good situation to have Oba in. He doesn't need to be in the world title picture right now, even though I have said in the past that I would like to see him win the world title pretty quickly. I wouldn't hate that. And I did build a whole path to SummerSlam where he's the one who dethrones Roman Reigns, but maybe we'll still get there. We still got a long way to SummerSlam, so that could all be still what the direction is for Oba. But right now, doing the Oba challenge, I think it's fine. Have him get tossed some filler talent, whoever it may be, and then have him put on some decent matches and get him some experience. I like it. We also had a 6-man tag match between the El Grandes and the El Grandes. We had OG El Grande Americano and his new tag team of Bruto and what was the other one's name? Judo? I forget what the other one's name was, but the Credo brothers, the El Grande Americano brothers, are now teaming with OG Americano, and then we've got obviously Rayo and Bravo and the other El Grande Americano. But OG gets the win, so it's really obviously just building to this mass versus mass match they're going to do in AAA, and we think that obviously OG Americano is going to lose that match so that he can end up taking the mask off and reverting back to Chad Gable, where then he can hopefully become the wrestling machine Chad Gable that we wanted him to become before this whole luchador storyline started and then Americano became a thing. And then we can let regular other Americano, Ludwig Kaiser's Americano, we can let him go be El Grande. He's huge in Mexico. The Mexico fans, the AAA fans, they love El Grande Americano. He's become like a celebrity down there. He's like a superhero down there in Mexico. So just let him be El Grande. Let Bravo and Rayo be Bravo and Rayo. I mean, I know obviously a lot of people want Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate to be back as Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate on their TVs wrestling, but this is getting them more TV time than ever before. So this is doing well for them. So just let them be them. Let them do the Grande thing, and they can go down in AAA. And maybe even El Grande is the one who takes the title off of Dom. I wouldn't hate that either because of how popular El Grande Americano has become in Mexico. Just think about that pop. I know Dom is super popular in Mexico as well, but just think about that pop. If El Grande Americano is the one who beats Dom and has the AAA Mega Championship, that would be an insanely big pop because he is so big down there. So we got that match. It was pretty good. But the one thing that I want to talk about, moving on to Friday Night SmackDown, because it's pretty fresh in my mind, I want to talk about Cody Rhodes and Gunther. So we got SmackDown. Cody Rhodes comes out, and he basically tells Gunther, on SmackDown, I'm easy to find, but I'm hard to beat. That's kind of become Cody Rhodes' new catchphrase. Gunther, it's revealed on the show that the favor that Gunther wanted from Paul Heyman after he did the favor for Heyman, where he took out Seth at WrestleMania, the favor in return is he wants a WWE Championship match. So Paul Heyman gets him the WWE Championship match. It's going to happen in Clash in Italy. And Gunther comes out. He tries to attack Cody Rhodes, but then we get the fighting. Cody keeps him away. And so Gunther's now on SmackDown. But this whole Cody-Gunther thing is very, very interesting because Gunther's at a point where it doesn't really make sense for him to lose any matches. If Gunther's in a match, he's probably going to win it. He's just at that point. He's not trying to end careers right now. He can still do that. That's not gone away. He doesn't just, that doesn't just get erased because he's not retiring Cody Rhodes. That's still a part of him. Like Randy Orton was the legend killer. He wasn't fighting legends every single week and killing legends. He did that a lot, but he wasn't doing that every week. So Gunther being the career killer doesn't have to kill a career every single time he wrestles. So Gunther fighting Cody is really interesting because Cody's kind of like this third championship reign that he's got right now after beating Drew and beating Randy at WrestleMania. It's kind of weird because we haven't seen Randy since WrestleMania. So where does Randy go? I think that Gunther beats Cody whenever they fight, whether that's Clash in Italy or whether it's somewhere else. I just don't see a world where Cody beats Gunther. It just doesn't seem right because if Gunther's going to be in a title match, Gunther's going to win that title. That's just what he does. So Cody being in this match, and I also don't think that they want to spoil Roman versus Cody 3 because obviously in Saudi coming up soon, sometime in summer, I think, they do the whole pay-per-view where they have champions versus champions to decide who's going to win the Crown Jewel Championship or whatever. So you have champion versus champion, and you have the world champion versus the WWE champion, both women's and men's. And I don't think they want to spoil Cody Roman 3, how big that's going to be whenever it happens, on a Crown Jewel Championship match, champion versus champion. So, and we obviously know Roman's not going to lose before then. So the only person that can lose would be Cody. And this is a perfect opponent for Cody to lose to. Cody's become this ultimate good guy. Cody's the superhero. He's the face of the company. Cody's the company guy. He's QB1. He is the guy that hugs the babies and signs all the autographs and does all that kind of stuff. So to have him go up against the ultimate kryptonite, the ultimate bad guy, the ultimate just chicken scratch heel who is just a downright dastardly guy like Gunther. It's the perfect foil for Cody Rhodes. And it's the perfect time for Cody to lose the championship because this third title reign hasn't really felt right. He shouldn't have beaten Drew before WrestleMania. It should have been Drew's match at WrestleMania. I still stand by that. It should have been Drew versus Jacob. or Drew versus Jacob and Cody at WrestleMania. Maybe then Cody gets the title, but at least Drew should have walked into WrestleMania as the champion. And then the whole Randy Orton saga, which started out really, really good, but then it got a little bit muddled and screwed up with the whole Pat McAfee insertion. So the whole Cody Rhodes third championship reign has been just kind of a weird one. It hasn't felt right ever since he got it back. And now we've got this Gunther situation. And like I said, Gunther doesn't lose these type of matches. So unless something crazy happens, unless some absolute chicanery or shenanigans happens where somebody comes out to stop Gunther, or Cody accidentally gets DQ'd, because we do know that Cody has an aggressive side that he likes to show during some matches. So maybe that happens. Maybe he realizes he's not going to be able to beat Gunther and he DQs himself or something like that. That could be a possible scenario, although it wouldn't be a very babyface thing for him to do. But unless there's something like that, I don't see a world where Cody beats Gunther clean. That just can't happen. Because if Cody beats Gunther clean, then Gunther loses a little bit of luster. And we can't have Gunther lose luster, because Gunther's character needs that to be able to be that big-time ultra supervillain for the ultimate good guy to beat in the end. That is what Gunther is. Gunther is not the guy. He's the guy that gets beat by the guy. That's what it is. That's what Gunther is. And that's a perfect spot for Gunther to be. Gunther doesn't need to be the guy. He doesn't need to be the face of the company. He just needs to be the foil to the face of the company. So Gunther needs to be the guy that Braun Breaker beats to ascend to the next level, or that Obafemi beats to ascend to the next level, or Trick Williams or Javon Evans, or whoever. Name your up-and-coming superstar that's going to be the main event for the next 15 years. Name that guy, whoever it may be. It doesn't have to be anybody that I said. Just name that person, whoever you think it could be, and have them beat Gunther. Gunther is becoming that type of guy. He's the guy like Brock Lesnar, like John Cena, like Randy Orton was at a time, where these guys become the guys that you beat to become the guy. That's what happens. And Gunther's at that point now. He's beaten Bill Goldberg. He's beaten AJ Styles. He's beaten John Cena. He retired all those guys. He's established himself as a dominant force. And he beats Cody Rhodes to win the WWE Championship. And now he's got everything. Now he's got the aura. Now he's got the title belt. Now he's got everything he needs to be dethroned and make the next guy. Just think about that. Cody loses the title. He goes off and does whatever he needs to do. Gunther now has a 4, 5, 6 month reign and loses the title to the guy, the next star-making guy, whoever that is. Just think about that. That would be perfect, because Gunther goes on this run where he's unbeatable. Nobody can stop him. The whole world thinks he's going to hold the title for 9 years. And then one guy is given that opportunity and he goes over on Gunther. Just think about that pop. Just think about that's a star-making performance. That's a face of the company making performance if you beat a guy like Gunther in that situation. And that could be Oba, that could be Trick, or Javon, or Braun Breaker, or whoever. I think that's what's going to happen. Other things that happened on Friday Night SmackDown, we had the Gingerbread Man funeral, which actually gave the main event spot to, which I didn't think was going to happen. That was pretty cool. So the gingerbread thing is kind of insane. Sami Zayn killed the Gingerbread Man last week on SmackDown, so they're having the funeral this week. They had it this past week, and it was maybe one of the greatest segments I've ever seen in my life. Trick Williams had a choir sing with him as he sang a song about the Gingerbread Man. They played a video package of different moments in WWE history and in just world history where the Gingerbread Man was a part of. They had different clips of the Gingerbread Man, Trick Williams, and Lil Yachty doing different things like climbing Mount Everest and just at the Grand Canyon. Like it was the greatest thing I've ever seen. It was fantastic. And so we get the whole funeral. Sami Zayn eventually comes out and he plays the bad guy. He comes out. He's basically doing what Kevin Owens did a couple of years ago when he was in that rivalry with Cody Rhodes, where he's playing the card of everybody else has gone crazy except for me, and he doesn't know why. He doesn't know why everybody else has changed, but he hasn't changed, even though we know that he's the only one that has really changed, and he just can't see that. So Sami Zayn comes out, he ruins the funeral, he comes out and he talks to Trick and he starts trashing him and all this kind of stuff, and we go, and then eventually Sammy decides to attack Trick Williams. He's beating him down, but then the gingerbread man rises from the dead in the casket, sits up Undertaker style, and then takes off his head, and it's revealed to be Little Yachty, who wasn't there. We haven't seen him for a week because he got taken out by Sammy a couple of weeks ago, when Sammy did the same thing when he was in the gingerbread costume, and then he attacked Little Yachty and Trick and revealed himself to be underneath the mask. We talked about that on one of the podcasts a couple weeks ago. So Lil Yachty is the one in the gingerbread costume this time. He gets out of the casket. He hits Sami Zayn in the back with the candy cane and starts beating him down with it. And then Trick Williams eventually hits him with the trick shot, takes Sammy down, and then we have Lil Yachty and Trick Williams back together again. And I really like Lil Yachty being Trick's manager full time. I think it's just a really good thing for both of them. I really like it. I don't see Lil Yachty as a celebrity anymore. I just see him as Trick Williams' manager. He's just the guy now. I like it a lot. So does this mean that the gingerbread man's alive now? Was the gingerbread man never really a thing and it was just somebody underneath the mask? Like what are we thinking about the gingerbread man now? Is he still dead? Is he alive because Lil Yachty was under the mask? I don't know. We'll have to figure that out. We'll see what they say on SmackDown next week, if they even mention it. Or maybe they say something on Backlash. Who knows? So we had that whole thing, and then the last thing that I want to talk about for SmackDown is the Danhausen mystery partner. So Danhausen throughout the show is trying to figure out who his mystery partner is going to be. He eventually gets into a quote-unquote laboratory where he's trying to clone his mystery partner. So he's got all these test tubes and scientific equipment, and he pulls out one of his own teeth and puts it in there, and he's pouring different liquids in, and it all is hooked up to this tube that is plugged into this big like machine that just says like cloning machine on it or something like that. And so Danhausen starts firing up the machine, and he's starting to clone his mystery partner. Now, me and Hayde, which you'll hear in a minute in the Backlash preview that I've got at the end of this episode, we talk about this scenario, and we talk about what we think is going to happen, who we think possibly could be the mystery partner. And I bring up the fact that I think this partner, there's really no way that it's not going to be somebody with a huge name. Like, this is exactly what Danhausen does. This is exactly what his gimmick is. This is exactly what his character is. This is exactly his level of comedy, where he's gonna do this whole thing where he's building up this mystery partner. You're thinking it's going to be somebody goofy. It's going to be somebody like R-Truth. Well, it can't be R-Truth, but it's like somebody along that line, where it's just going to be somebody random that doesn't really matter. And then he pulls out like the biggest name of all time or something like that. Now, I threw out a possible CM Punk. We know that Danhausen and CM Punk have history. They're friends backstage. They're friends in real life. And they've interacted on TV. I don't know if they've interacted on social media with WWE Twitter and stuff. They've done little videos where Punk's like signing stuff and all that kind of stuff. But I don't know if have they interacted on TV? I don't think they have, because Danhausen's been on SmackDown. So we know that they've got the history. They got the real life connection. So it could be CM Punk, and that would be a huge name. That would be such a Danhausen move. Miz and Kit Wilson are thinking it's going to be some random goofy no name person, and then he pulls out CM Punk as his mystery partner. That would be amazing. It also could be John Cena. John Cena is going to be at Backlash in Tampa because he's got some groundbreaking, company altering announcement to make, which me and Hayde both think it's just going to be Club WWE. That's just going to be what it is. He's going to announce something for that. So Cena's going to be there. He's going to be, I don't know if he's going to be hosting Backlash. I don't think he's going to be hosting Backlash. He just got some sort of announcement. And it could be John Cena. It could be Juan Cena. Now, we know that Cena retired and he's not wrestling in the jorts ever again. But there's a possibility that he just wrestles in the suit, or he's just Danhausen's partner and he never actually tags in. He never actually officially wrestles. Or he could be Juan Cena, put on the luchador mask, and that Juan Cena never retired. There was never a retirement tour for Juan Cena. So maybe that's what they do. Or it's just some random guy, some random mid-card guy, and that's what it is. That could also be a possibility. But I personally, I'm putting my money behind CM Punk because I think that it just makes the most sense. Danhausen and Punk have this real-life relationship. they have a connection. It would make so much sense for the character to build up all this suspense that it's CM Punk in the end is the mystery opponent. I think that would just be really, really good. And right now, Punk has no direction. He just lost the world title. He did that thing with Cody where, oh, we never know, just say the word and maybe we'll have a title match. So Punk hasn't really done anything since post Mania, and now I think this could be a nice little one-off thing. He teams up with Danhausen and we have that. So that's all that I wanted to talk about for SmackDown. I did want to talk about NXT because NXT is going in a new direction. Every couple of years, we have this new wave of talent. That's what NXT is at the end of the day. They're a developmental program. They are, even though it feels like they're their own brand, which they kind of are, they still are developmental at the end of the day, training the new generation, getting them ready for the main roster. And so we've seen the departures of Obafemi and Trick Williams and Javon Evans and Blake Monroe and Fatal Influence and all these people that were at the top of the Sol Ruka. All these people that were at the top of the card in NXT have now transitioned to the main roster, gone their separate ways, and now we've got to see who that next crop of main event guys is going to be. We've got obviously the NXT champion Tony D'Angelo. You got Miles Bourne. You've got Tavian Heights. You've got Vanity Project. You've got all these people, Kalani Jordan and not Jordan Grace, Miss Parker, Jada Parker. You've got a lot of talent, and Izzy Dame and Tatum Paxley. All these people. But now you've got the new generation of NXT wrestlers with Lizzie Rain and Mason Rourke, who used to be formerly known as Will Cruz. So you got some guys, and Keanu Carver is new, and all this kind of stuff. So NXT is in a really interesting spot where they're still in the weird awkward stages where they're post main roster call up, and they're trying to. It's kind of like a child going through puberty. They're kind of in the awkward stages where they're trying to figure out what they are, figure out what's going on, who's the main guy, like all that kind of stuff. Like we're trying to figure out who Lola Vice is going to face. Is she going to face Kendall Gray or Izzy Dame or who's Tatum Paxley going to fight? Who's going to challenge Tony D'Angelo? All this kind of stuff. They're kind of forcing Mason Rourke Mason Rourke. I forget. I think it's Mason Rourke actually. They're going to trying to get him. He's now 2 weeks in a row ended the show by attacking Tony D'Angelo. So, and kind of putting himself in the main event scene. I wouldn't mind seeing Mason Rourke be in the main event scene right away. I mean, I wouldn't mind Tavian Heights getting a title shot at Tony D'Angelo on like a pay-per-view or something and seeing where that goes. Miles Bourne defending the North American Championship against more of Dark State. I forgot their name for a second. More Dark State. Although I think Dark State's going to break up pretty soon. I think they're going to have those guys go their separate ways. But we'll see where that goes. But they're just, NXT's in a really interesting spot. It's always fun to see every few years to see the NXT go through this metamorphosis of trying to figure out who the next guys that they can send to the main roster and put in that Trick Williams, Javon Evans, Sol Ruka type of scenario where they are ready to get called up and they're ready to be on the main roster. They also just lost Ricky Saints. He's now up on SmackDown. So you lost a lot. You lost a lot of talent. So now the guys and girls in NXT got to step up. And the last thing that I want to talk about is one thing that happened in AEW that could be very, very interesting, and that is Darby Allin versus MJF. Title versus hair. Do we believe MJF, if they go through with this match at Double or Nothing, which I think is where it's going to be, do we believe MJF goes bald? Because we've talked about previously on different podcasts how I don't think that Darby Allin's title run is going to last very long. I think it's going to be, I said 3 months max, or maybe I said 2 months max. I didn't say very long. And so, do we believe that MJF gets the title back already? Was it fun to have Darby Allin have these title matches every single week on Dynamite and then get some guys some different looks, some different opportunities, but then in the end, MJF gets the belt back? Or do we see MJF go bald? That could be really good. Because MJF has stated previously that his worst fear is losing his hair. So I think it could be a very interesting direction to have MJF lose the championship match, keep Darby with the belt, and then have MJF go bald. I think that would be really, really good. And also, one more final thing. I guess that wasn't the final thing. One more thing. I just thought about this. We did lose a wrestling icon this past week. So I probably should dedicate the show today, this week, to Ted Turner. He passed away at the age of 86. He was in his 80s. I don't remember for sure how old he was. So Ted Turner passed away. Obviously, the owner of WCW. He was more than that. Obviously, he created CNN and he created TBS and TNT and all these kind of things. Everything basically on television was pretty much created by Ted Turner. He was a foundational piece to the early television marketing, the early television scene, and in the wrestling world, he was very important and very impactful in terms of making WCW what it was, hiring Eric Bischoff as the producer, giving him control, letting him do his thing, bringing in all the old guys, Hulk Hogan, Randy Savage, Kevin Nash, Scott Hall, Scott Steiner, all of these guys that eventually would form the NWO and get WCW as hot as it was. It's he was just amazing. And then just like to do all the stuff outside of the wrestling business that he did. But obviously for us and what we talk about is the wrestling side of things. So just the ascension of WCW and how hot they were for that time in 1996, 1997, all that kind of stuff. Just Ted Turner, sad. It's sad to lose him because he was one of the ones. Ted Turner was great. So rest in peace, Ted Turner. We will probably talk a little bit more about Ted Turner next week on the podcast because Hayden wanted to talk about him a little bit, and unfortunately he didn't have enough time to do it this week. So we will probably talk about Ted Turner a little bit next week as well. But I just wanted to mention, since it was still fresh from this past week that he passed away, I just wanted to talk about it a little bit. So now we're going to cut to me and Hayden talking about Backlash. So I hope you enjoy. Thank you for listening to this portion. Listen to me jabber on. And now enjoy me and Hayden talking about Backlash preview. Now let's talk about Backlash. Backlash is happening this Saturday, and we need to preview these matches because it's a 5-match card and it looks pretty good. It's one of the better non-big four pay-per-views. We've got Io Sky and Asuka. Takes a little bit of a hit without Kyrie though. We've got Danhausen and his mystery partner versus Miz and Kit Wilson. We've got the U.S. Championship, Trick Williams versus Sami Zayn, Seth Rollins taking on Braun Breaker, and the World Heavyweight Championship, Roman Reigns versus Jacob Fatu.
Okay. Yeah, I think we should start with the easiest one first. There's no way Trick Williams loses.
No, I agree.
No, there's no way he's got so much stuff going for him right now. He's got the fans behind him. I can see maybe doing a double turn here and doing something like that.
Probably. I mean, they've kind of already turned Sammy a little bit, but definitely.
Yeah, but it's not. He's playing it off like he's the good guy and everyone else.
Yeah, he's playing it like everybody turned crazy except for him.
Yeah, and so I think they could go full on heel here. And I could see, and I could definitely see somewhere where, now I don't know if he'll come back full time or if he's even healthy enough to, but I could definitely see a thing where maybe Kevin comes out and does something with him.
I would hope so. I mean, Kevin doesn't have to wrestle.
Something. Yeah, because they're kind of playing that Kevin character. Anyway,
yeah, Kevin used to do that where he used
to
think everybody's gone crazy except for him. He tried to make sense of everything.
Yeah, with the whole Elijah.
Yeah,
not Elijah.
Elias.
And
well, he did that with Cody too. He couldn't believe that Cody was doing the stuff that he was doing and still being a face.
Yeah, so I could definitely see something like that happening. But yeah, I think it's going to be Trick going over.
Yeah, definitely. Yep.
I don't see why they would halt his momentum. And let's move him on to somebody else now.
Yeah.
And let Sammy go off and do what he needs to do. With
maybe you bring Mello back and have Trick versus Mello.
Yeah, I mean, that'd be a good little rivalry to have. Bring Carmelo back as a heel. He always worked better as a heel anyway.
He is a pretty good heel.
You got everyone happy for Trick, and then you have Carmelo come out and attack him out of nowhere. And you get to turn him heel and kind of have that confrontation going. You know they're going to have good matches, so just let them cook. See what I did there? Cook?
I get it.
Gingerbread man. Oh, okay. Where do you want to go next? Backlash. It's Backlash.
Let's do Io and let's do an Io and Asuka match.
Yeah, I mean, I would assume he was going to win that one.
I would think,
I don't
but
see why they would give it to Asuka
well,
unless they're going to keep building this feud.
you never know if there's going to be shenanigans.
Yeah, I mean, I did see a thing where there's a possibility that they bring Kyrie back one night only.
Oh.
But that kind of seems
What if it's a
weird.
R-Truth situation?
It could be, but then it's like, are you just going to do that every time you
The fans just get outraged. Well, they pick one person that
like,
they want Brett back.
Now you're just trolling everybody all the time. Is that really worth it? But I can see her coming back for one night only to help Io and finish the storyline.
Okay, yeah, that would be good. But then if people see her back one night only, they might want her back all the time, and then she's
yeah, I mean, I think they want her back all the time anyway. But at least the storyline would get finished, so we'll see. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see where they go in that one. But I don't see how Io's going to lose to Asuka unless they end up going some way of keep going with the storyline.
Yeah.
But I don't know why you would. You lost the whole main part of it, so it doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
The only question would be where Io goes after this, though.
Yeah.
Because now Rhea's doing her own thing.
Io's got plenty of... I mean, she could easily go after Liv. Liv's got no dance partner right now.
Whoa. After Liv?
I mean, why not?
If it's Roxanne?
Yeah. Well, Roxanne did the whole thing with Finn. So
that was just a fake. She's totally turning on Liv.
And maybe, and it's totally possible it was a fake. But for now, she didn't do anything. So for now, she's still on Judgment Day. So that means for now, Liv still doesn't have anybody to go against. So I could totally see Io winning this match and then going off and doing something with Judgment Day.
Mm-hmm.
Even if that leads to Roxanne turning on Liv. So, I don't know, but I definitely could see Io going that route. I mean, she doesn't really have many other options.
Yeah.
Unless she finds a different tag team partner. But there's not really... The women on Raw are definitely a little lackluster compared to SmackDown, I think.
Ouch.
But, I mean, not anything against it. There's just not that many of them. Name me the women on Raw.
Maxine.
One.
Becky.
Two. She's got the Intercontinental title. She ain't going to do anything with it. Maybe Io goes after her.
Oh.
You can do that too.
Interesting.
Becky doesn't have anybody she's going after either, but she did
that
thing
she's got
with
Sol Ruka now.
Face. Well, that's what I'm saying. She did that, but that doesn't mean they're going to have a title
Probably.
match. But
give the title to Sol.
I mean, I wouldn't see why not. Well, although she botched that.
She slipped. It's okay.
I'm just saying, you get your big moment. You don't want to botch your one move.
It's still
although
a sick
I heard
move.
Cody said we're not allowed to say botch anymore, so we have to listen.
We have to listen to Cody.
Because it's impossible to know if it's a botch or not.
What are you talking about? It's impossible. Clearly, you know what the move is.
Because that was supposed to happen.
You know what the move is supposed to
Because we don't know. We don't know.
She was supposed to slip it first?
Yeah, she was supposed to slip, so it makes her look like she's human. She can't do them all perfect.
What is he? He's on the Jey Uso bandwagon? That's what everybody...
of course he is.
That's what everybody was defending Jey Uso for.
Yeah, it was all part of the thing. They wanted to make him look fat and out of shape and horrible because he was part of his character.
All right, let's talk about...
There was a character, I forget who it was, but that used to botch on purpose.
Well, I mean, Tonga Loa.
Just because that was part of his character. No. I like how his last moment is him botching.
Falling off the announce table.
Come on, man. Come on, man. You did that on purpose now.
Let's talk about the real main event of Backlash. Backlash. It is Danhausen and his mystery partner versus The Miz and Kit Wilson. Now, I just want to say there's no way that this is not some huge name. I mean, that's the whole Danhausen mentality. He's gonna build it up like it's this, like it's gonna be some goofy guy teaming with him. It's gonna be a huge name.
I would love that.
Whether the name is Punk or Cena or whoever, it's gonna be some huge name. There's no way it's not.
Punkhausen?
Yeah, it could be Punkhausen, yeah.
Punkhausen,
he might come out with the paint.
He did try to clone himself on SmackDown.
But it's gonna be some huge name. There's no way it's not gonna be.
So I mean I'm not gonna say I guarantee it, but it just would make it more
it fits the Danhausen character for it to be a huge name.
Yeah. Now it also would fit if it's someone just hilarious.
Yeah.
Like you bring out someone crazy.
Doink.
Well, okay, not doink. I'm not talking about like crazy in that sense, but just like some character that's like you never would thought he would bring out to do this match. Like, I guess more what I'm thinking. Now, obviously, it's not going to be this guy. But how crazy would it be if it was like Mundo or somebody like that?
Yeah.
Just somebody, just a one night off, just random guy.
Well, this would be a perfect spot for like Zack Ryder to come back if he wasn't already in the company.
Or even like think about this, like who's Mrs. I mean, I guess besides Mundo, who's his ultimate rival?
Dana Bryan?
No, well, okay, I guess I forgot about Dana Bryan. It's not going to be Dana Bryan. I'm talking more so his hometown ultimate rival.
Hometown? What's from Cleveland? Ziggler?
The guy that, yeah. How funny would that be?
I mean, that would be pretty
Dana
crazy.
brings out Dolph Ziggler. You don't think that'd be crazy?
No, I said I did say that. I said that would be crazy.
I know, but it was too melancholy for me. I need emotion from you. Is
Well,
that a yay or nay?
We also gotta think they're gonna be in Tampa. Is there anybody that's from Tampa that has a connection that could be
The Rock?
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
Rockhausen.
This is what happens when the internet starts guessing.
Rock the Dwayne Johnson's coming back.
I mean, we did think that he was inside the
That is true.
coffin.
That is true. So there's a connection
maybe he
there.
is. Maybe it's him. Rockhausen.
It's got to be a big name though. My guess is it's Punk.
I wouldn't be shocked though. Punk would be funny.
That's my guess.
Punk would be funny. I was trying to think of an AEW guy he could.
An AEW guy. All the AEW guys are coming over.
I mean, like, not AEW, not an AEW guy from like they're there now, but like somebody who is there that he might have done something with that he could bring in to kind of do it.
All the guys that he
really bring in Royce Keys, that'd be funny.
All the guys that he was with in AEW are in WWE now. Ethan Page, Ricky Saints.
Yeah, that's true. So it could be one of the mini houses.
It could be one of the mini houses. That would be pretty funny.
From Mania. He's trying to clone himself. It might not go well.
Just a clone mini version of him.
Yeah. So.
But we think Danhausen's getting the win.
I don't know. I think it's going to be funny. It's going to be entertaining. I would hope so. It makes no sense to have Miz or Kit Wilson win. So. Danhausen doesn't need to wrestle these matches, so just give him in there. He needs to win them at least. You don't want him.
Yeah, but the best part about Danhausen is he doesn't need to wrestle, but when he does, you forget that he's really good at wrestling.
Yeah, he is a great wrestler. That's what people forget about these characters. Is that just because he's doing some stupid gimmick, doesn't mean that he's a bad wrestler.
Like Eugene. Eugene played a mentally ill person, and
yeah, he was a great wrestler. So the character is just what it was. So
we think that it's going to be a big name. What do we think about Seth Rollins?
Well, you're more high on that. Don't bring me into your stuff.
What do we think about Seth Rollins?
I don't want to hear blowback when they're like, "Oh, you said it was going to be a big name." No.
We both think it's going to be a big name.
Logan
said
it.
You think it's going to be a big name?
No, I said
you said Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Okay. Just saying. Juan Cena.
That's about as big of a name as it gets.
Yeah, that'd be true. Ric Flair.
Woo!
Coming down there in his wheelchair.
Jeez.
Trying to wrestle. He wanted to wrestle one more time.
He probably will.
So. Anyway, we'll go to your Seth. I knew you were trying to change the subject. But Seth Rollins,
Rollins and Breaker.
It's going to be a war.
Do we get... How early into the match do we get the straps down from Breaker?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a decent match. This is Breaker's chance to really show he's got. So you're going in the ring against Seth. You're getting co-main event status. You really need to have him show out and put himself in the big picture.
But
I'm expecting him to bring all the moves.
We all know you're a big Rollins guy, so
I do love Rollins. I don't think he doesn't need to win anymore.
Oh, he's reached that level.
Like he didn't need to. Yeah, he's been at that level.
He's ascended.
Stop it. He can lose in this match, and it's not going to affect anything about him because then the next night on Raw, he can attack Breaker, and you'd still believe he's going to beat him. Nothing in his character can get affected anymore.
That's rarefied
air. He lost at WrestleMania, didn't do nothing to him. So
that's rarefied air. Not many people are at that level. Dom's
he's
at that level.
Stop. Would you stop? I just read a thing today where he hasn't won a match in 5 months.
And has he hurt his character? I don't think so.
He hasn't won a match in WWE in 5 months.
Yeah, but he's still champ. He's still champ.
In a different company.
He still wears it on Raw.
Where he doesn't wrestle.
I'm hearing.
How many matches he had in AAA? 3.
All I'm hearing is that this man is ultimate smart opportunist guy who stays fresh.
Okay.
That's what I'm hearing right
He
now.
doesn't ever wrestle anybody.
He's got to
And when
live.
he
He doesn't need to
does, he
wrestle.
gets beat up the whole match until Liv helps
He's
him.
got to live with him. He doesn't need to wrestle.
Okay. Anyway, yeah, I mean, I would hope Seth will put him over here. You give Braun the big time look, and you make him main eventer. Then look how stacked Raw is after this pay per view, because you got Fatu doing his thing, which I don't even know if he's on Raw or SmackDown. Who knows?
They've been
showing up
floating
on
between the both.
So, which is fine. So you got Fatu who can make a name for himself tonight. You got Braun who can make a name for himself, and you got Oba. You had that with Punk, and you got Rollins, and you got Roman. I mean, you got a good and Orton. Well, Orton, I guess, is on SmackDown, isn't he?
Yeah, Orton's on SmackDown. Yep.
But you could, I mean, you got plenty of guys on Raw now to build a main event scene around. So use these guys, build them up.
I kind of wish they would have done a Oba challenge on Backlash, but they're not going to do it.
Yeah, but I like the matches they picked. Could I have used one more match? Yeah, probably.
They could have done. I would have liked it.
But
They
did
Tampa local talent or something.
Yeah, but to be fair to them, they did add they have technically 6 segments because we're going to get the John Cena announcement.
Yeah, we'll get to that after we talk about the Roman Reigns match.
So,
and speaking of the Roman Reigns match, where do we go with this? Because Jacob, for the second week in a row, locked in the Tongan death grip.
I think I can see a thing where Jacob I'm not going to say dominates him, but it gets to a point where it looks like Jacob's going to win this match.
Mm-hmm.
And then Roman pulls out in the end.
He did say on SmackDown that he was going to burn the whole family tree down. So,
but I can definitely see a thing where he's going to let Jacob cook. I mean, he did the same thing for Jay.
Mm-hmm.
Jay, he built Jay up to main event status in that feud.
Yeah, that early Tribal Chief feud. Yep.
And then he still won.
Yeah.
So I can see him doing the same thing here for Jacob. Build him up, make him this monster. I could also see something where Drew comes out and it costs Jacob.
Okay.
If they want to keep going with that feud. We haven't seen Drew since Mania.
Do we
so
think...
I can easily see Drew come out and cost Jacob the match.
Do we think this is a one and done? Or is Jacob going to acknowledge Roman if he loses? Or do we keep going with this?
Well, I can see, like I said, I could see a thing where Drew comes out and attacks Jacob, and maybe he attacks Roman too. And then you could lead that into a 3-way.
I like how you're trying to get Drew into the main event scene. They don't like Drew.
I'm just saying, Drew just is gone since their match.
They gave him a pity championship run. They don't care about him.
I could see him making a comeback. What does Drew love to do more than anything else?
Screw up people's matches.
Exactly. I could see him easily coming out and hitting Fatu with a Claymore. And even hitting Roman with one and then leaving.
Do we think there's going to be a hooded Fatu figure, a Samoan figure?
There's always one at Backlash, so somebody's coming out and debuting.
Is there going to be a hooded
3 years in a row?
Are there any Samoans that are released from contract other than the ones that just got released?
You got Zilla.
You got Zilla
still out there.
Yeah.
I mean, every year we have a return of a Bloodline member, or Jeff Cobb comes or debuted. You had Tonga Loa 2 years ago.
Yeah. Botched that.
And you had Cobb last year. Oh, they botch everything.
Well, he screwed up because he was supposed to pull the referee out. He missed.
Yeah, it's Tonga Loa. But he does. It's his character.
Yeah, but he wasn't like that in New Japan.
Well, guess what? They ruin everything that comes from Japan. They already got Evil's new name.
Yeah, no, it's
I forget what it is. It starts with an N.
Is it not Naraku?
Something like that.
Naraku? Something like that. Something similar.
It means evil or something.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, he'll be good in NXT until they bring.
Well, he said specifically he wanted to start in NXT because he wanted to learn the WWE style and the US style.
He wanted to start in NXT because he knew that's where he get pushed to the main event.
Well, yeah, but he said he wanted to learn the style before going to the main roster.
He knows going up to the main roster he's going to get buried by the gingerbread man.
That's Lil Yachty. All right, let's talk about your guy, your GOAT, the never seen 17, John Cena. He's got a major groundbreaking, company-altering announcement. What do we think it's going to be?
Yeah, I think it's just going to be with that stupid
WWE club?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's everything's pointing to that.
My prediction.
Even before I saw rumors that was what it's about, I figured.
My prediction. I think he's announcing WrestleMania London.
No, because I think obviously next year they're going
Saudi.
to whatever Saudi, and the next year after that they're going to go to. It seems like Nashville. Plus, they have to do Indy at some point. So
they don't have to do Indy.
Excuse me. Yeah, it was part of that deal with Indy. Remember? They did the Rumble there a couple years ago.
WrestlePalooza.
They signed like till 2030. That deal with them, and Pat McAfee did all that stuff.
They guaranteed him a WrestleMania?
Yeah, they said at some point you're going to WrestleMania.
Oh, man. Okay.
So it was all part of the thing.
I thought they just did. I didn't know they guaranteed him a WrestleMania. I thought they just said.
And now there's still talk about going back to New Orleans, where it was supposed to be this year.
New Orleans.
So that's on the table still. And then they've been talking with Minneapolis after see how SummerSlam goes. So there's a bunch of places. So I don't know if it's going to be London. Also, if I thought they were going to announce London, why wouldn't you wait to do that at like Clash of Italy?
Well, yeah, I mean, Italians, British people, they like each other.
No, but you want the foreign crowd. Like that's when Cena did that thing in Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
Remember when he came out and announced? I don't even know what he announced. Didn't he announce the attendance and then said we should have a WrestleMania here?
Probably.
He didn't even announce anything.
I think he said we should have. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they were in France, weren't they?
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I know, but there's a hot rumor that WrestleMania is going to go to London because AEW does the All In. They did the All In London, and
yeah. I mean, I wouldn't be shocked.
So we both think that it's not going to be something as groundbreaking as they think, or as they're saying.
No, I think they think this WWE club thing's a big deal, and I think Cena's pretty much
he's the spokesperson.
This thing. So I think that's what it's going to be about.
That's kind of what I was thinking too, except for my prediction being the London thing. But
yeah, I don't see where else you're really going to go with that.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, I don't know. It seems kind of weird for him to do anything else besides that, really. So I don't see what else there'd even be for him to do.
All right.
But
Backlash
is gonna be pretty good.
Backlash.
So, at Backlash,
it has been previewed. Did we say who we think Roman's gonna win? Right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I like how every time I listen to CVV, he can't not say.
Well, it's because Danhausen. They did a whole thing with Danhausen saying it.
At Backlash. Well, it's that commercial. You remember?
Yeah, I remember like with all the different Edge and Triple H and everybody.
At Backlash.
But then Danhausen inserts himself in it.
At Backlash.
And he just says Backlash.
You are cursed. Yeah, so we got Roman, we got Braun, we got EO, we got Housens, and we got
Trick.
What was the other one? Trick. Yeah. Whoop that trick. So that'd be my guesses. We're not usually wrong, so
it's almost
everybody's that we pick's gonna lose.
It's almost like we know this wrestling thing.
Mm-hmm. So we'll see, but that would be my predictions.
Mm-hmm.
But WWE likes to swerve, so I think the ones that if anything's going to be weird, I could see Seth somehow winning.
Okay.
And I could see Asuka somehow winning.
Oh, okay.
But those would be the two where I think that I don't see the Miz and Kit winning. I don't see Sammy winning, and I don't see Jacob winning.
No.
So if they want to swerve us on anything, I think it'd be those two matches. So it just depends on where they want to go with the Seth and Braun thing.
Mm-hmm.
So because you could have Seth win, and then Braun just totally obliterated. Afterwards.
That is true.
And that really doesn't hurt Braun too much. But I would hope that they give Braun the win, and then keep his momentum going.
Yeah,
forward.
I think they're gonna.
I think they can even continue the feud, and they can go back and forth. But you got to give Braun the first one.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then you can put him out there, and then if they want to keep going with this feud till whenever, if they want to do it again at Saturday Night's Main Event, Clash of Italy, wherever they end up doing it, but they just need to keep pushing it. I think. So, but it'll be interesting. So, I like how everyone though is coming to the realization after what happened with oh, why am I blanking on the name now? No, the favor, Gunther's favor.
Oh yeah, the favor's just he wants a title
That
match.
Brock's probably retired.
Yeah.
Even though I've been saying
Well,
that.
Heyman said on
3 weeks
SmackDown
now.
that the favor was the title match.
Yeah, which makes sense. So, and it looks like that's going to be our first match for Clash of Italy.
Yep.
So we'll see where that goes. But... And then eventually we'll have to talk about Double or Nothing because Double or Nothing is
that coming
getting
up?
Stacked. That's at the end of the month.
Nice.
And it is a stacked card. So we'll have to talk about that sometime soon. Especially if they go with the match that they just teased last week. So, which would be Title versus Hair.
Oh jeez.
Allen versus MJF.
A bald MJF would be crazy.
I know. And he's talked about that's what his one biggest fear is, to lose his hair. So, but we'll see. But yeah, Backlash is tomorrow. It'll be crazy.
This is going up Saturday, so it's tonight.
It's tonight. That's what I meant. Keep it kayfabe around here. Tonight, it's Backlash. Backlash. Okay, we should go.
Do you want this to be the end?
Well, yeah, this is probably the end.
Okay, so
if we're saying it's Backlash,
I'll just end it then.
Just end it.
All right, well,
peace.
No, not yet.
Oh, sorry.
We hope you all enjoyed. Thank you so much for listening. Leave a comment. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Brothers Wrestling, and we'll catch you in the next one.
Peace. Got it that time.